Hello everybody, welcome on in. It's Jamie with Row 12 Creations. All right, y'all, I've done some prep work because this one's got a lot of pieces to it. So we're going to go ahead and get started. So tonight we're going to be doing the Yuletide Logs barn quilt pattern, and I have prepped it quite a bit. So this is the Yuletide barn quilt kit. And I have prepped the background with my, 2 coats of my lovely buttermilk. I love my buttermilk, okay? So I went ahead and just did the background. Yes, I did paint over some of the corner pieces, but I can still see where they're supposed to go. So we should be just fine there, y'all. The little logs of the log cabin pattern that we're doing, I've already decoupaged some of these, okay? Okay, I've already decoupaged. Of course, I had to use my ticking stripes. So I've used that one, and then I've used a piece of scrapbook paper from Hobby Lobby, and I've done that set. So now we're going to keep doing that because I need those to be dry so that we can, sand the edges and distress them. Okay, so all I did to prep these, I just put 2 coats of, where is it? Oyster beige. I did oyster beige. I just put 2 coats because I didn't know how at the time how thick or thin the paper that I was going to be decoupaging. I didn't know how thick or thin it was going to be. Okay, and I did label on the back where they're supposed to go, so I would know where to put them on the quilt. Okay. All right, so let's get started on this set of 4 logs, Yuletide logs. I have this holly berry scrapbook paper. It was in a book of scrapbook paper. I think it's the vintage Christmas. Here, I'll show it to you. I don't know if I'm going to like it, but we can fix it. If we don't like it, I'll just do something else to it. It's this one. It's Vintage Christmas. And I don't know if they still have it or not at Hobby Lobby. Okay? So this is, if you happen to come across this one, this is where the holly berries came from. Okay? The other sheets are either wrapping paper or separate sheets from Hobby Lobby. Okay? So all I'm doing is decoupaging on top of that. And the only reason why I painted it, like I said, was, well, to be honest with you, I wasn't sure if I was going to paint or if I was going to decoupage. So I went with oyster beige just in case I decoupage. I was leaning towards decoupaging. So that's why I did it. And also because I did not know how thick the scrapbook paper was going to be. And I don't... You paint underneath your paper, like I could have even used a napkin. So you paint underneath your paper so that your colors on your decoupage paper will pop. So they'll be accurate and vivid colors. So this is just song music. I've gone with a red pattern because, and there's just a little pop of green because there are some holly berries and holly leaves on the 4 corners of this quilt block. Okay. So, let's get these things finished up here. Let them be drying while we paint the holly leaves. All right, so now the next thing we need to do is get our holly leaves painted. That's the only thing I didn't get done. All right, so let's get started with this. I'm going to use Mossy Meadow for one part, and then I'm not sure about my second color, but I think I am. I'm not sure about my second color, but I think I am. We'll see. Let's get this paint on my fancy palette. And this is a folk art color, and we shouldn't need a lot of paint, hopefully. Hopefully. Where's my little sponge? Now, I'm using a tiny little sponge. I know whoever it was told me, you need to put a clothespin on that. I know. Okay. And they're so tiny, I'm probably not even going to worry about the grain of the wood. But I do normally pay attention to that. Just FYI. And if you don't like these colors and want to do this kit yourself, by all means, you choose the colors that you like for your kit, okay? All right, let's use this color. This is forest green. I know it's not hollyberry green. Doesn't have to be a snowman. That's quite not the darkest color of all, but we'll work with it. Okay, I think we have completed the painting portions of everything. There's the holly leaves and the holly berries. So let's see here. I'm going to go ahead and distress this before I put the frame on. And I'm trying to decide. I just did. We're going to use my chalk teak. Okay, I'm going to try my bestest to do some distressing beforehand here. No worries. Don't worry about that. I'm going to fix it. Ooh, I got heavy. Heavy, heavy. Try to stay away from those holly leaves, okay? Because where you put that glue, that oil in the... That's why I'm doing this first. The oil may prevent your stuff from sticking as well as it should. Okay? Just keep that in mind. And then this is kind of how I do it. This is the Jamie method. Okay? Might not be the right method, but it's the Jamie method. Okay. And I buff with my fingers. Now, let's buff. Or take a paper towel and buff. If you don't want to use your fingers, buff away. There we go. That's more like it. All right, I've got my frame. I went ahead and painted it with that Imperial Red. I didn't tell y'all that. The berries and the frame are Imperial Red. It's a chalk paint from Folk Art. Okay, that's what I used. We're going to distress these as well. I'm going to unfold this paper towel. Or as one of my nephews used to say when he was little, taper towel. A taper towel. Taper towel. We're going to distress this too. I think I'm going to use my chalk teak tonight on my pieces if I can. Might not be able to do it on all of them. But we are going to do it for sure. Hold, please. Y'all, it smells like oranges. If you've never used chalk teak, it smells like oranges. Or citrus of some kind. Buffing and blending. I think I'm going to grab that paper towel I was using. That works better. That buffs better to me. Let's get these pieces. Let's do this. All right, y'all. Let's see if we can't speed this up a little bit here. Okay, so we're going to put the frame in first, and I did do red. Okay. Now, I could distress even more with some sandpaper if I wanted to, but I think I'm going to leave it like it is. I'm using stick fast glue. I'm using the thick viscosity. You want to get that stick fast in thick if you use it, and be very cautious. Don't get it on your skin because you can attach yourself to your project or attach your fingers together. Don't ask me how I know. Come on. All right, here we go, y'all. Bottom left. I had my fingers glued together just then. How much fun is that? Top right. And there it is, y'all. Look how beautiful. Thank you for being here.